Hey everyone, I'm doing a video for keto for beginners or people who are struggling to stay on a ketogenic diet. Um, just because I understand I was there once too myself. When I first got started, I started it about this time of year and I wasn't fully committed or wasn't really sure I wanted to do a low carb diet. And because you don't fully commit, you stumble a lot. It was summer, summer, there's lots of fruits, and, we're all switching from an average diet of carbohydrates. So my morning, I usually had like oatmeal every day. Like that's my favorite go-to. I would eat oatmeal every day if I could. I love oatmeal. Doesn't love me back because I don't digest carbs well. And then I would do like a salad usually for lunch, and it was mostly like carbohydrate added things and like a low calorie, low fat type of dressing. And then for dinner, I didn't really like protein, so I'd end up eating like 1 or 2 pieces of bread or rice, or I'd eat more rice and vegetables and barely touch whatever protein that I had. And I generally kept it low fat. And then a lot of times I'd just really be craving sugar or still be really hungry like right before I went to bed. And so I'd end up eating or snacking right before I went to sleep. And that was an average day for me. So to switch from that to going to keto wasn't easy. So just be prepared in the beginning. You might fail a lot, but it's okay. I went through the whole summer of just kind of learning. And then when I switched to keto, I didn't know how to make anything. And I was nervous about not doing keto. So I'd end up eating almost like tomato sauce like every other day, or like spaghetti every week because it was really easy to make with spaghetti squash. Or I would just throw it on top of something else. And then I'd end up like binge eating fruit or something. And it wasn't, I'd lost 10 pounds. I maintained it and I felt better, but I really wasn't able to make the full transition. And I was eating a lot of dairy. And you got to be careful with that too, because there's still quite a bit of carbohydrate in dairy if you're not adding it up. And I wasn't. I was just eating, and it was just not going the way I wanted. I'd lost a little bit of weight, but it still wasn't making a big difference. And that's okay, because going through it, part of that failure is what frustrated me enough to say, you know what? I'm ready to go all out. I'm ready to go out. So once August hit, I said for 2 months, I'm going to make a decision to do this 100%. And I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to question it, whether I lose weight, whether I, feel good or bad. I'm going to give it 2 months. And when I made that solid commitment, that's when I saw the changes. That's when I lost 35 pounds in 2 months. That's when I saw the huge changes in my body, and I just meal prepped. I did whatever it took. I just made the commitment. And when you make that commitment, you'll naturally do the things. And I still slipped up. I'd still go several weeks, and then I'd, have a cookie, or I'd do something, where I thought I was doing keto, and then I'd find out that it wasn't, or something, or I'd overeat 1 week or undereat another. I mean, I still had my trials, but I made it through it, and going through that showed me that I could make it, and denying myself sugar that long, it was just like a sugar fast. So that's when I got committed, and that's when I realized that keto really is the best way for me to go. I don't think you have to always stay in ketosis, and I think it's good to maybe do seasonal. I think you got to be careful about what kind of carbohydrates you're going to be eating, if it's coming from fruits and vegetables and things like that. Maybe even adding in sweet potato back into your diet, but being careful about what you're consuming. So that's just to help you, that just like learning to ride a bike or anything else, stumbling is part of the process. You're not going to be perfect. And that's just how it goes. So whether it takes you several months, or maybe you need to go through the summer, just practice, every day trying to eat a little bit more low carb, trying to eat better, trying to add different things. Maybe you are going to end up eating a lot of cheese all summer. maybe you are going to have a little bit more fruit than you would normally do. But if it's putting you into the right direction and it's stopping you from going to pizza and bread, that's a good transition. It takes a little bit of time, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it or that you're failing. It just means you're not quite ready to commit fully to keto. And, give it some time. Let it prove itself to you. You're going to feel better eating low carb days. Try and even just get one day where you eat really low carb. Just practice just trying to get one day. And then after you get one day down, try and make it 2 and 3. And then when you slip, just start over again. And then, just get a little bit better each time. And then once you feel like you got it, that's when you need to make that commitment. 1, 2 months. Just make a small goal. I said, I know I could do this for 2 months. I don't know about 6. I know I could commit for 2. And that's when I really saw the difference. So I hope that helps you. Like, share, comment below.